going to try.
Clevenger.
Clevenger?
That's it. Yep, just like it sounds.
That's not bad. And he's from Better Leads Academy. And I hope I did your website properly on the bottom there. I don't know if I did or not, but BetterLeads.
Yeah, we're working on it right now. So, I mean, they go over to it. They're actually going to be redirected to like this nasty, ugly, old Weebly site that I used to have up. But we're actually working on the WordPress site now. Probably the best link they can go to if they want to check us out is heading over to, so like this would be something I give to them for free. If they're looking to, you know, a big part of what I do is help people build and grow businesses and influence online. You know, and basically my whole shtick is we help you find and identify your superpowers so you can grow a business online with it. Yeah, so you can actually, if you want to go check that stuff out, we actually give away everything we do, everything we teach for 7 days. You know, we normally charge whatever it is, you know, we normally charge what it is for it, but just if you want to get, and then also getting a part of our group. So the best part to really learn and get involved with us is to join our free Facebook community for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And you can join that at www.successsecretsgroup.com. That's going to be the best way to get involved with me and Tiffany's world.
That's fantastic. So before we go any further, I always start off with a stupid question. It's just to break the ice. You've already pretty much done it. But the stupid question of the week is, what old people thing do you do?
Oh, man.
And you're pretty young. So
I'm young.
What's the old person thing?
32 young. What old people think I do? You want me to like do a GIF, or do you want me to like, you know, like, okay. Old people, like, classified as old. Let me ask that question. Like my old or like 85-year-old?
Over 60.
Old or almost dead old?
Well, almost dead old really doesn't do much, right? Like they're pretty much sedentary.
Yeah.
But
baby boomer. I think, to be honest, like if I was to take a look at my parents or my parents' generation, especially when it comes to like being able to build businesses online, I think my parents, and they've seen and watched me do digital marketing since the beginning. I mean, like even since I was out of college, I was building websites for people before Wix and Weebly were a thing. But you know, like I think ultimately, if you were to take like 100,000-foot view of what it is that I do, my parents are smart enough because they're entrepreneurs to understand, you know, like what it is that I'm doing. Because ultimately, all we're all doing when it comes to promoting is we're promoting. We're looking to put messages and convert people who are in a target-rich marketplace and find more of them. Ethically, I mean, you know, that's ultimately what we're doing, whether we do it with Facebook ads or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube or PPC or billboards or benches or radio or TV or press or this or Facebook ad, whatever. I mean, that's ultimately, this is what an advertiser's job is. My job is to take a message and an offer and put it in front of as many people as I can that are interested in buying that message or offer and following that thing. That is ultimately at a 100 million foot view what I do, what Frank Kern does, what Grant Cardone does, what all of us marketers do. That is what we do. Now, there's different vehicles of being able to do it, which I don't think baby boomers quite understand when it comes to Facebook ads, when it comes to doing press, like leveraging press like we do now. When it comes to setting up a Facebook profile and understanding the journey of how someone can bounce on and off a Facebook profile and have everything they need to know to get into your world. You know, maybe understanding that would be the biggest question is, well, what is it by adding a cover image and a featured image and in your description? What is it by adding this link? And why does that matter? I think teaching them the different aspects of how internet traffic works is what people are always asking me questions about, like the media buying type stuff. And that would be the biggest question that I would get around a baby boomer, because they understand that the internet's where they need to be. They genuinely have the concept of, oh, I can build a business on Facebook. Yeah, sort of. But they're doing it kind of the way they're trying to do it in this world, which is not how you do it in the internet world. So like understanding traffic in the real world is different than in the internet world. And it's a lot easier in the internet world to build traffic and free traffic by just giving up a little bit of your time and by understanding a simple concept online. I mean, if you were to take a look, people pay me $30,000 to work with me for 6 months. That's how many people pay me a lot of money. And ultimately, for these $30,000 clients that they pay me money, ultimately I help them with one specific thing: putting their best stuff out consistently. And as long as we consist putting their best stuff out consistently, and I do my job and being able to put that best stuff in front of the right people and showing them how to do this in a very systematic, automatic system type way to where they're able to build a business where they have appointment setters, VAs, closers, where all they got to do is do the content, go live, fill, and they're able to go, me and Tiffany are going to Savannah on Friday for 5 days. And our companies are going to be running our businesses like we were there. And that's ultimately like what I help my clients do. I'm helping them really find their superpower, find what they're best at, and then build a company around it of their dreams. And that's what ultimately the world's going to right now.
Do you find that, no, that's good. Do you find that a lot of people do get stuck running their business versus having actual ownership? It becomes a job for them, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think, especially in our world, there's the freelancer trap. So a lot of people, even me, I mean, like, I don't like the idea of giving away my work to somebody else, and I never liked the idea of stopping to sell. I mean, I come from being a salesperson, and I've been so dirt poor, where I went down. I used to smoke heavily. I still vape, but I used to smoke heavily. And I remember when I moved to Dallas 3 years ago, I was so poor I couldn't go buy cigarettes. I was so poor I couldn't even go buy blacks. Like go buy like the BLKs for 99 cents. You get 2 of them, and I would have like 2 or 4 days. I was so poor that what I would do is I would go down and I'd find cigarette butts, and I would literally smoke 1 or 2 puffs off a cigarette butt, and I would find 6 or 7 of them. That'd be like a whole cigarette. I was that poor. I was that broke. So like for me, I learned how to hustle at a very early age. And so I hated the idea of sitting at home and working on the business, because I felt like if I was working on the business, I was literally losing momentum. I was literally just like pausing my business. And the biggest struggle that small business owners that I have seen get, and it's the biggest struggle that I find that agency owners get, like people like me who sell marketing or sell digital marketing, is when a project gets slowed down or when momentum slows with anything in life, it becomes very, very difficult to get it started back up. And motivation, in my opinion, is bullshit. People don't get motivated, right? I mean, like motivation is hot air that people use to, like try to get excited. But the truth is, if you go to a Tony Robbins event or you go to a Brendon Burchard event, I love Brendon event. But if you go to one of those events, it's hoo-hoo, rah-rah. It's like going to an MLM event where you're going to jump around, hug each other, and give each other high fives for 3 days and get everybody happy because they feel like they got friends they've never had before. And it's a big manipulation BS kind of cult. And I'm sorry for anybody that's in an MLM that hears this, but for the MLM that I've visited, that's the truth. And, like that's just not the way that you build a business online. And the failure of MLM after MLM of MLM trying to build a business online is proof of that. I mean, so I can't tell you how many MLMs I could make billionaires if they would just shut up and listen.
So when you're working with people, how do you help them discover their superpower? What's the actual process of it? And I know there's probably 900 steps, but what's the? It's questions that I ask. I really am not in their shoes, so I don't have the feelings or the emotions. I do have a wife that's very good in NLP and very good at helping me identify with this. This isn't something I do on my own. My wife, who is, is an NLP. I'm not allowed to say she's a neuroscientist, but I believe she is. Although technically she's not, but she's one that helps people. She's NLP qualified. She's matrix therapy qualified. She's someone who helps people get qualified. She's someone who helps people clear out bad emotions. She's someone who uses tapping and uses clearing, NLP, not NLP, matrix type therapies and hypnosis type therapies to help get rid of emotion in one's body. And I've been able to really use her. But what I talk about on my podcast and what I talk about a lot on my shows and stuff like this is identifying first your 5 people that you're closest with. For me, that's going to be Tiffany. That's going to be someone that I work with closely, and a couple of my friends. And I'm going to literally, what is something that every single one of those people, I would say consistently, so I would say at least once every week or two, constantly are asking me questions about that I don't even think about. For me, it has nothing to do with marketing. It has nothing to do with digital. Although I'm good at it, I have a gift for it. I feel like God, my creator, helped provide me that gift so I could have a vehicle that could help me with my highest intention of wanting to help people not commit suicide.
because I had a guy mouth, right? 2016. But I think that, I think that people understanding that, understanding that, you can, the power of who you are and what it is that you do can really, really shape, influence someone at levels that you've never even imagined. You don't have to be a big name to do it. A lot of times you just open and a welcoming energy source and be willing to provide your best stuff consistently out to that person. And they're consistent. I mean, it's hilarious, man. Like, me and Tiff used to live high in the sky not too long ago. We recently, about 6 weeks ago, moved out to a lake. Like, we're literally an hour away from that town, but we're literally on the lake, like, walk to the lake. And it was over the weekend, and 2 of like people that have been with us that, they were the high in the sky, but now are all of a sudden going to the lake. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy crap, this is weird. We're influencing them even on their day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the type of influence that you and your superpower can have on someone. My superpower is simple, bro. I can talk to anybody and I have no prejudgment. I have made deals on airplanes with strangers. I have made deals in airports with strangers. I have popped on Facebook shows like this and sold somebody on the show. I don't know what it is, but when it comes to talking to people, and I might not be the best communicator at times. However, when it comes to just saying, hey, you want to hop on a show and talk? You want to, you want to hop in front of 5,000 people and talk? Sure. Doesn't bother me. I found that out because even when I was younger, my dad would say, I remember my dad saying once at Christmas, I think 13, 14, I'm so proud of you. You just have this ability of being able to walk up and talk to anybody. At the time, I didn't want to do that because I thought my brain was still young, and I knew wellness as a hypnotist. My brain was not fully functioning. I had the mental, I guess the best word to use is my brain was a bit ignorant. It wasn't fully developed. And I just didn't think it was that big a deal. My first thought, and I think a lot of people's thought when they first start figuring out what their superpower is, this was my first thought. Doesn't everybody do that? Doesn't everybody feel that way? Everybody does that. You mean I don't talk to anybody more than Tiffany does, more than anybody else. And then you start to look at it. See, the biggest part is looking at yourself in the third person, which is the big thing I did. And being able to see that no one else approached that man. I did, though. But I didn't even think about it. So what's the next thing that comes to, which is people on your show are going to look here. This one, it's something that not only that I'm doing, but it's something that you have to recognize that you're doing unconsciously. That's the trick. I was doing things unconsciously, so daydream-like. Like I would do them automatically and not even identify that I have been talking to a new guy that I have met at the restaurant, at the bar, or at the airport, and on the plane. One is in San Diego. And I'm literally 20 minutes, 30 minutes into a conversation with these people before I even recognize what's going on. Because I'll be literally, man, is this something you want to help with? I'm literally in the process of selling them. I'm in the process. And it's not even that I'm trying to sell them. I'm trying to identify what they need help with or what they're working on or how I can provide service. And that service is not always me saying I can help you and you can pay me money. That service is saying, hey, I know a guy named Jesse Lewis who has an awesome show. And I think you would be a perfect fit for it, and being able to introduce you. I do that 10 times more than I make offers for myself. But by doing that, my momentum stays high, and I'm able to consistently every day find people that want it.
I think a lot to do with that is the economics of relationships, right? Because truthfully, I just met you today, and I know very little about you other than you're a marketer. But I know for a fact that we can help each other in a lot of ways and never, ever have money cross each other's hands at all.
I did that.
Social capital. Yeah, the social capital is huge.
Like today, I had a content creator, to be honest with you, I've been wanting to work with and have working in our business for a long time. She's one of the best I've ever found. She's one of the types that she'll take your life. So I do live videos every day, and I promote myself every day. So like she'll take those live videos and she'll chop them up like I want. So we'll get me and Tiffany. Obviously, COVID screwed all this up, but we used to go every 60 days and get professional photos made. So like we would constantly have professional, or every 90 days or whatever, and we would constantly have professional photos made. And then we'd pick 100 of them or whatever, and then we would, have our content creator build post around them, stories and all this. And she literally she has our quotes and she has all the stuff that she does. And I said, I want you, but I need you as an example so that I can sell you. So I said, listen, I don't only want to use you for me. I want to, like, I say this to people, I want to sign up. Like, it's literally me, because they get excited because they probably haven't heard this. It's like, I literally want to whore your services out. And I'll say that in a way to where it's funny, but that's also a reason to be trying to be funny. Because if I can make them laugh, I'm lifting their emotions. And if I lift their emotions, it becomes a lot easier for me to persuade them to do whatever I want them to do. Funny means money, right? So I was taught by Marshall, funny means money. Get somebody to laugh, and you're going to be able to persuade them to do whatever it is that you want them to do a lot easier. And there's even stats that prove that. The brain works in such crazy ways, impulse before logic. So make sure that you're putting impulsive marketing before logical marketing, and make sure they're back to back. Just little things like, people know it, but it's like, why are they not playing that ACE card? Why are they not using this stuff in digital? Because that's the most powerful part of digital marketing, and people, 90% of people don't use it. And that's being able to behaviorally control conversations and use automations based on rabbit holes that your clients, your prospects are basically walking themselves down themselves. It's crazy.
I think sometimes when hypnosis gets involved, and I've been doing it for 15 years, I don't have a row to hoe on it. I think a lot of people think that it's manipulative when it's really not. As long as you have the best intention in mind, I think that it's a very valid way to do things. It's when you are being, right?
It gets your mind out of the way. I mean, I look at it as kind of getting your gatekeeper out of the way. I don't know. Tell me this if I'm wrong. I mean, this might be a bit of a stretch, and I don't want to, in any way, shape, or form, I would never discredit. But the best way that I can explain hypnosis is kind of like when you get stuck in a daydream, or like when you're driving your car. And you ever notice when you're driving your car and you kind of go into that daydream state, if you're paying attention and everything's fine and you're there, but you're in deep thought. And then all of a sudden, after 5 or 10 minutes, you'll say, oh, I don't remember driving those past 5 or 10 miles. But I was there and I knew what was going on. I don't know if mentally that's a similar state. However, I guess the best way I can think of it is you're just allowing your gatekeeper to get out of your way so that the computer and the most powerful part of your mind can take over. And then the best way I explain it is does anybody ever get those feelings in their gut? Your feelings in your gut come from your unconscious mind. Your feelings from your head, or your thoughts in your head, come from your conscious mind. And usually your gut's always right, because it sees no emotion, it sees no logic.
Yeah. That's the prime example of hypnosis. That's what almost every station just uses during their show. If you've ever drove down the highway and just faded out for 10, 15 minutes, but you reach your destination anyway, that's hypnosis. It's a state where you're fully aware, you just don't care. And it's not that you don't care, it's that your mind just kind of floats away. Where do people find your stuff before we end off? Because we did start a little bit late, but where do people find your stuff to actually become part of your
way? I'd say the best way to get started with me and Tiffany, just because we're going to give you some free gifts to get started on with us, is join our community. We have a Facebook community. Absolutely free. There's over 1,600 purpose-driven entrepreneurs in the group. We do not allow everybody in the group. This is not something that we just open forum. You can join the group. We have a bunch of crap in there. We turn down probably as many people as we let in, just because we want quality. We want people in there that are purpose-driven entrepreneurs. We want people in there that are in there to help people. We do not promote help. We have daily things in there that can help people when it comes to promoting themselves, when it comes to their mindset. My wife handles all the NLP training and stuff in there, and I handle all of the basically how to set up and grow your business and scale it online training in there. We have trainings every day that you all can hop on. Over 1,600 members that you all can network with and get to know from everywhere around the world. Australia, New Zealand, Canada, US, all over the US, Mexico, South America, England, France. I think we have people in there from Egypt. We have people in there from the Middle East, of course, and we have people in there from Japan and Asia. So we have people in there from everywhere. And it's just a really, really great community of purpose-driven entrepreneurs who are looking to help one another. And that's what me and Tiffany are about. That's what we want our people to be about. That's what we want our ecosystem to be about. So I would look at joining that group. It's absolutely free. When you join the group, you're going to get a free mini training from me and my wife on basically a kind of like, we call it a boot camp, but it's literally, it's 7 days of training back to back on days for you to set up your business and basically be able to start generating leads online through something that we call a profile funnel. And how to set that up, which is about what my, I talk a lot about that. That's kind of the entry into my stuff. So anyway, yeah, so all that stuff you'll be given. And then of course, you'll also be given the opportunity, if you'd like to chat with me or my wife, to hop on what I call a clarity call, and basically just to answer any questions that you have about scaling your business online, or about Tiffany actually does a clearing with people on her clearing call. And, it's all about just wanting to help each other. And then if it's about, hey, I need to be introduced to a lawyer because I need to start my business, or hey, I need to be introduced to an accountant. We have all of those people in that group, and all of those people are willing to help. This is not the Sid and Tiff show. This group is about the purpose-driven entrepreneurs that are in it, and is consistently led by those people, which I would love to invite you to be part of that charge so that we can help, change the entrepreneurial footprint online. And that's our goal.
I accept. I'm personally going to accept. I'm going to go over there and try to join. You'll probably deny me.
www.successsecretsgroup.com. I'll take you straight over to the Facebook page. And there's 3 questions. So we're going to add, and I'll tell you, there's no hiding. 3 questions that you're going to get. We want to know basically, what are you working on in the next 90 days? We want to figure out who in the world can we introduce you to that can help you with that. Again, this isn't the Sid and Tiff show. We introduced a lot of people to Andrea, who was our publicist, who got us on this show. Because a lot of people want to get on podcasts. Andrea helps do that. So, we ask you what you're working on. We then ask you, when joining this group, are you looking for help when it comes to scaling, or are you looking for help when it comes to mindset? Because we want to know, again, what's the rabbit hole? We have courses we can give you, and we also have things we can help you with in both of those regards. And we also have pieces around both of those. Again, this isn't the Sid and Tiff show. I have things that have to do with scaling that have nothing to do with marketing that I can introduce you to and help you with. Just because you entered my group, I want to help you win. We all win when we all win. That's my mantra. And by helping other people win on a daily basis, it's helping me consistently do the same in my life as well. So join the group. We'd love for you to join the group, and then just give us your email, because based on your answers, we do want to make sure that we are providing you and helping you out, and introducing you to whomever it might be that we might know that can help you, or just by sending you over a free gift that might be able to help you get over that hump or that battle. So, that's what it's for. So we invite you to join the group. You can just head over to www.successsecretsgroup.com. And it's going to take you over to the Success Secrets for Purpose-Driven Entrepreneurs group in Facebook, and you can join right over there.
That's awesome. So before I end the show, I always ask one final question of everybody. It's the same question, and it can't be this interview, but what's one thing you've done for yourself, not for anybody else, today to make yourself happy?
I can't answer the question, I don't think. But
okay.
Unless I'm allowed, are you in a legal state?
Oh, yeah. Canada is fully legal.
Oh, okay. I smoked a blunt this morning. I'm a medical, so I'm weaning myself off of it. But one of the things that I do is I used to be on a lot of medicine growing up. They had me on Adderall. They had me on Adderall. They had me on Ritalin.
Ritalin, yeah.
Yeah, and the best. And I will sit here and preach it. I don't care if you don't want to associate with me because I smoke marijuana. That's your decision. I'm not going to sit here and hide behind it. And if I feel like I'm hiding behind it, I'm being fraudulent. So I'm very open about it. And it's by far, hands down, the best medicine that I've ever used for any type of mental disorder that I've been told by a doctor that I have. And I guess that's my best way to put it. It doesn't mess me up. If it was something that messed with my day, put other people in danger, messed with my work day, I wouldn't be doing it. That's dumb. But the same way I take neuros in the morning, we take neuro pills, and then I smoke in the morning, and it's all calculated. I smoke 0.8 of a gram in the morning, and it's the best way I can say it, man, is it just does this with my brain.
Yep.
and it just sort of opens up my brain. And then I drink coffee right behind it, which kind of takes away any type of buzz that might be lingering. And dude, I'm on fire after that. Like I am on fire. I got energy. My mind is open and thinking. All my nerves are gone. Like I just sort of shake off what I slept with, and then I'm on fire. I can't explain it. Like, so, I mean, I understand people have sensitive opinions around that, but I'm just trying to be honest and real about it.
No, I get it. I think if people looked at specifically American history and why it was banned in the first place, they would have some very different opinions on it.
Well, it was used. Yeah, cannabis oils was used in the Civil War to heal pain. It was the primary oil used from the plant because it was, a big reason I use it at night is because I play golf a lot, my man, and I get back pain and neck pain. So it's not just the THC in the marijuana that helps. It's the things like the CBD, the CBH, the CBG, all of those types of, they're not really mineral, whatever they would be classified. They help detoxify my body. They help get all those toxins floating and out of my body, which takes away a lot of that muscle pain. And then the biggest thing that I've found, especially with CBD, is it does one thing really well. It makes your muscles go limp. And when your muscles go limp, it helps blood flow go through the body. And when you have even blood flow throughout the body, your body feels optimal. And that's literally all it does. But it makes you feel about the best that you can.
Well, we are going to end off, Sydney.
Sorry for talking about what some of my famous drugs on here.
No, it's perfectly fine. The truth is, if we look at the science, it was banned for a very specific reason. We're not going to get into it because it gets real political, real fast.
I'm not trying to bring political anything into it. You ask me a question, I try to answer it the best way I could.
No, it makes sense. The reason, if people don't know, the reason it was banned originally is because there was paper manufacturers that did not want hemp production in the United States. That's all it was, because hemp could be made into
so it was a business thing. I didn't know that.
It was cheaper to make hemp paper because you can regrow it over and over and over again, and ropes and everything else, versus getting tree paper. So the paper lobby actually,
it sounds very American, doesn't it? Let's make it cheaper, not as good, and sell it for twice as much. Sounds like American.
Literally. Yeah, and textiles had a lot to do with it as well. So that was because hemp clothes last forever.
Bigger business that we're fighting. So I mean, like, what do we do? It's one of those behemoths, right? I mean, CBD. I don't know if ever's really. I thought maybe in the next decade, but Big Farm with coronavirus happening, Big Farm got their freaking thing wrapped around. CBD has lost any momentum it had a year ago.
Well, all I can say is thank goodness that Canada legalized it, because a lot of people are able to help themselves and not have to be on the severe depression meds that they were on, that were causing them to have so many things go wrong with their bodies.
I mean, we could talk about this for a long time too, but Adderall. I mean, once I found out what Adderall actually was, I was livid, because they didn't get me on it that young. But I've seen people prescribe Adderall to
kids,
people whose brains aren't even fully grown. We're talking 5-year-old kids here.
Yep.
That could have such traumatic effects.
Yeah.
From my understanding, that could have effects on them when it comes to like their personality, not just like mental, but it could like turn them into narcissists. It could turn them into, what's the step up from that? The
psychopaths?
One was the one that at the social, whatever it's called, the
sociopath.
Sociopath, and not a step above narcissism. But and I've heard horror stories that these medicines, when taken consistently, can build calluses in the brain that can be ill reversed. Yep. It's really scary.
The biggest problem with it is, in my opinion, because we have to preface everything with "in my opinion." The biggest problem I see is that yes, they may have tested them for 5 or 6 years, but they were tested on adults, number one, and then not tested on kids at all. And doctors can prescribe drugs not necessarily for the infliction that a person has, or the ailment a person has, right? So a person could be prescribed Ritalin when they don't actually need it in any way, shape, or form. And that's up to the doctor. It's not up to.
And it's an addictive drug, and they could care less.
Yeah.
When they go into their pocket. You know, I mean, I remember I used to be pretty saucy about this. Like, I would go to Kroger and I would get my medicine, and I'd be like, you know, they ask you. I don't know if they do this in Canada, but in where I used to live, they would always ask me, would you like to ask your pharmacist any questions about your medicine? Yeah. So I would be a smart ass, and I'd be like, yeah, I'd like to ask a question. How do I get off this shit? Because the doctor put me on it, and I'm addicted to it now. And now I come here every month and literally getting fed drugs by you that I cannot get off, and no one's going to give me a damn straight answer. And he looked at me and he said, that's something you have to ask your doctor. Called my doctor right in front of him, and I said, Doc, I'm being told by you to ask my pharmacist. Pharmacist is telling me to ask you. One of you two is lying. One of you better answer right now. Doctor hung up, and pharmacist walked away.
And that's the thing. And the real question is who's mandating it? Because is it government mandated, or we won't get in conspiracy theories?
No, I mean, we can have a long talk. I just binged watched the Jeffrey Epstein Netflix special 2 days ago. So I got with COVID going on, and you know, like neighborhoods getting bricks thrown through them, and you know, Antifa freaking like raining, right? All this crap going on in our world. Nothing surprises me right now.
Awesome. I'm going to get you to say bye-bye, everybody, just in case.
Oh, shit.
Bye, everybody.
I'm sorry.